Philippine economic growth in the first quarter of 2025 falls short of government targets.
What if I told you the next big economic miracle isn't China? It's not India. It's not even Indonesia. It's the Philippines. Yes, you heard that right. The Philippines, an archipelago once dismissed as the sick man of Asia, is now roaring back with a vengeance. From bustling BPO centers to tech-powered cities, this Southeast Asian tiger is rewriting its story. The question is this dazzling growth touching every Filipino life, or is it just a tale of numbers? Let's dive deep into the economic heartbeat of a nation poised to shock the world. In recent years, the Philippines has shocked analysts by becoming one of the fastest-growing economies in Asia. Fueled by a booming BPO industry, surging foreign investments, a resilient consumer market, and bold government reforms, the country is making headlines, and not just for its beautiful beaches. GDP figures are climbing, high-rises are shooting up, and the global market is watching. But here's the twist. Is this just a high-rise skyline masking ground-level inequality? Are the gains of growth trickling down to the streets of Manila, Cebu, and Davao? Or are they stuck in the boardrooms? While the Philippines boasts a projected GDP growth of 5.5% in 2025 and an economy approaching $497 billion, a darker truth lingers beneath the surface. Income inequality remains stubbornly high. The country's Gini coefficient hovers around 40.7%, one of the highest in Southeast Asia, revealing a deeply unequal distribution of wealth. In rural provinces and marginalized communities, this disparity is even more pronounced. Poverty may have declined nationally to 15.5% in 2024, but millions still live below the poverty line, particularly among indigenous groups, farmers, and fisherfolk, where poverty incidence ranges from 27% to over 32%. These are not just statistics. They're real families surviving on less than $3.65 a day, despite the nation's overall prosperity. Most Filipino households remain low income, with only a tiny fraction entering the upper middle class or beyond. It's a sobering reminder that growth, no matter how impressive on paper, means little if it doesn't uplift the people at the bottom. While the Philippines' economic engine hums loudly in urban centers, the benefits of growth are being felt unevenly across its diverse regions. In booming provinces like Bataan, the transformation is undeniable. Once a quiet province, Bataan now reports a per capita GDP of 314,641 pesos, the highest in the country as of 2024. Thanks to industrial zones, fintech startups, and a fast-growing BPO sector, the province has become a magnet for job seekers. I joined a BPO in Balanga last year. My salary doubled what I used to earn in our hometown in Bicol, shares Dina, a 26-year-old worker in a fintech firm. Similar stories echo across Laguna and Metro Clark, where infrastructure and foreign investment have turned cities into modern, service-driven economies. But beyond the urban skyline and export parks lies a very different reality. In Mimaropa, Bicol, and parts of Mindanao, economic growth feels like a distant rumor. Household consumption per capita in these rural regions lags 20 to 30% behind the national average. In Sultan Kudarat, smallholder coffee farmers like Joel struggle to sell their harvests at a fair price. You say the economy is booming, he says, but for us farmers, buyers are rare, prices low. With limited access to processing facilities, roads, or digital platforms, many rural Filipinos remain trapped in subsistence livelihoods, while their urban counterparts benefit from digital connectivity and diversified job markets. The gap is growing. In 2025, Quezon City's economy alone has exceeded 1.27 trillion pesos, and Makati's is close behind at 1.18 trillion pesos, driven by finance, tech, and real estate. Meanwhile, despite promising signs, like a 7.5% growth rate in the Bangsamoro region, After peace and development programs, most rural areas lack the systemic infrastructure to scale these gains. The stark difference in opportunity between someone born in Pasig and someone born in Palawan is not just a regional issue, it's an urgent national challenge. As the Philippines marches toward middle-income status, the question remains, will it bring the provinces along for the ride? In December 2024, President Marcos signed the Philippines' largest ever budget at 6.33 trillion pesos, US $109 billion. For 2025, prioritizing education, 1.053 trillion pesos, public works, 1.034 trillion pesos, and social protection, with the explicit goal of reducing poverty and sustaining economic growth between 6% to 8%.
The law will help us solve the various challenges plaguing our labor sector, such as low-quality jobs, skills mismatch, and underemployment, among others.
Building on this, the Trabajo para sa Bayan, Jobs for the Nation. Plan 2025-34 was enacted via Republic Act 11,962, aiming to lower unemployment, targeting 3%, reduce underemployment below 9%, and raise labor force participation to 68.2% by 2034, especially for women from 53.8% in 2024 to 59% by 2034. Complementing these are massive infrastructure projects under the Build Better More initiative with 9 trillion pesos in flagship ventures and expanded social protection efforts aimed at lowering poverty from 15.5% in 2023 to below 9% by 2028. To equip Filipinos for evolving labor market demands, significant investment is being channeled into technical and vocational training. TESDA's scholarship programs, including the Training for Work Scholarship Program and Special Training for Employment, continue to offer skills, development, and stipends tailored to local needs. Furthermore, the ILO-backed Skills for Prosperity Program 2019 to 2024 expanded access to vocational training for women, youth, and marginalized groups, aligning TVET outcomes with industry needs. The National Innovation Council also mobilizes funds and policy support to uplift SMEs and startups, positioning them as engines of both economic growth and inclusive opportunity. The Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino program, 4PIAs, continues to reach over 4 million households, offering cashed transfers tied to health and educational benchmarks for children up to age 18, significantly reducing poverty among the most vulnerable. At the grassroots level, civil society plays a vital role. Gawad Kalinga has built thousands of homes, community health centers, and eco-villages, blending charity with social entrepreneurship to empower families. Furthermore, the Sasakawa Peace Foundation's Social Enterprise Roadmap 2024 supports social enterprises in BRMM, Quezon City, and Odiongan, fostering income generation, community cohesion, and sustainable development. Bilateral programs like the Philippines-Australia Community Assistance Program, PACAP, strengthen this foundation by funding locally led, gender-responsive, and climate-resilient development projects. Together, these multi-layered initiatives, from sweeping national budget reforms and legislative frameworks to on-the-ground training programs and community-led enterprises, form a comprehensive push toward economic inclusion. But success depends on effective coordination, strengthened infrastructure, educational access, and sustainable financing. The coming years will be critical. Can this strategy translate prosperity into opportunity for every Filipino? As the Philippine economy surges ahead, now is the moment to ensure that this growth truly serves every Filipino, not just those in booming business hubs or elite corridors of power. The road to inclusive prosperity must be built on pillars that reach all corners of the archipelago. Quality education, resilient infrastructure, robust healthcare, and unwavering social protection. It's not enough to celebrate GDP milestones when millions still live with limited access to basic services or are trapped in cycles of generational poverty. Investing in people, especially the youth in rural provinces, the urban poor, and underserved indigenous communities, is the surest path to lasting, equitable growth. The challenge lies not in identifying what needs to be done, but in doing it with consistency, political will, and empathy. Education reform must prioritize digital literacy, skills training, and curriculum relevance to meet the demands of a fast-changing economy. Infrastructure should not only connect cities to ports, but also connect families to clean water, schools, and hospitals. Social protection must evolve, from reactive subsidies to long-term strategies that build resilience, empower households, and promote social mobility. The widening gap between rich and poor, urban and rural, must not become a permanent feature of our economic narrative. If left unaddressed, inequality will not just stall growth, it will undermine it. The time to act is now. Inclusive growth is not a slogan, it is a responsibility. And it is a legacy this generation of leaders, entrepreneurs, and citizens must collectively shape. Only then can we say the Philippine rise is not just a miracle, but a movement that lifted everyone. Thank you for tuning into our channel. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth analysis of global issues.